Holy moly, they are doing the meme. That's right. They're putting a chick in it and making it, what is it, gay and lame? The new frontrunner to play the new James Bond is an exceedingly effeminate looking black man, apparently. Now, if you had told me the new James Bond was going to be Idris Elba, I would have understood why you might have went with that role. Obviously, the source material of James Bond is he's a white man, but at least Idris Elba is, you know, I think he'd be okay in the role. But this new rumor is getting the memes are flowing and it's hilarious. First of all, here's the picture they chose to promote it. Amazon is reportedly considering Rebel Ridge star for next James Bond. I mean, he looks like a woman. He looks like he's wearing makeup, and he's got his eyebrows tweezed, and like, I don't understand. Of course, the fan feedback is immediately James Bond, DEI another day. With the way the UK is going right now, I almost expect them to put a Pakistani national as the new James Bond. Unpopular opinion, Bond ended when it tried to chase the Bourne-style movies with Daniel Craig. Pierce Brosnan will end up being the last great James Bond. That could be true. It seems generally Hollywood's plan to lose as much money and ruin as much IP as possible. So I'm sure this will happen. I mean, this is wild. If we go under the Pirate Nation tweet, if you want a black man to play 007, it needs to be Idris Elba. There's no other choice. Yeah, I think Idris Elba would be all right. The name's Bond. Out on Bond. They picked the most gay-looking person they could find, literally a wig away from being a drag queen. I mean, he does. It's not a good picture of him. It's not a good picture of him. Dead on arrival. I don't know the actor, but the reality is this will fail like it always does. You want a female Bond or a non-white Bond, make something else, 009. Henry Cavill should be the first choice, and it would earn billions. Depends on the writing, of course. I actually don't think it would. I don't know what the appetite is for James Bond in 2025, going into 2026, 27, by the time it would even come out. But this is definitely weird. He doesn't, people saying definitely a face, next flop. Are they really going to make me skip another Bond movie? I'm not familiar with Rebel Ridge's star's previous work. Nobody. I mean, basically everybody's memeing on this. Now, there's been 100 articles about it, though. Here's MovieWeb. James Bond rumor claims that the Netflix action star is the top choice for 007 reboot. Since taking over creative control, Amazon has reportedly fast-tracked the highly anticipated reboot of James Bond. Is it highly anticipated? Is there a huge audience out there waiting for more James Bond? I just don't know. Nothing yet has been revealed about the cast or the direction of the latest take of the iconic action franchise, allowing the rumor mill to keep churning, and keep churning it has. The latest scoop, spitting out the name of a real up-and-comer, acclaimed Netflix action hero. Never even heard of him. When the likes of Henry Cavill, Theo James, and Aaron Taylor Johnson continue to top the bookies' favorite list, according to scooper Daniel Rickman, Rebel Ridge star Aaron Pierre is now being considered by Amazon for the role. While unable to provide any further details other than that filming is tentatively scheduled to kick off next year, Pierre being a top choice to lead the reboot certainly makes sense as Amazon strives to distance the next chapter from the Daniel Craig era. Well, you could just make them good. You could make them spy movies again instead of just nonstop action. At 31 years of age, Aaron Pierre would fall into the younger actor category that Amazon is reportedly looking for, with Pierre having also demonstrating his affinity for action in Netflix's 2024 action thriller Rebel Ridge, which nobody saw, but apparently has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Following the release of the action movie, many 007 fans flocked to social media to call for Pierre to play Bond. I don't believe that happened. And Amazon is certainly wise to have him on their contenders list. I mean, do we need to teach you this again? He looks like a drag queen. Is he going to hit on men? Like, I don't really understand. DeSerto was saying, now maybe this movie is good. Maybe I have to check it out. The movie that he originally starred in. But like, I mean, I don't think that this is a good idea. It's going to make it a non-starter for a lot of people because they're going to assume right away that it's woke. Amazon loves to hire woke actors. Look at the guy they have playing Reacher, even though the Reacher series is pretty good. I mean, do we need to talk about what happened to Doctor Who? They put an effeminate black man as the last Doctor Who, and look what happened. Budget issues, and Ncuti Gatwa, okay, his exit. Is Doctor Who going to be renewed? As Doctor Who's 14th season, or third, depending on who's counting, enters its final weeks, the rumblings persist. All is not well with BBC's flagship show. Ratings are terrible. Rumors abound that the broadcaster's multi-million-dollar pound deal with Disney, now for renewal, is hanging in the balance. There have even been reports, swiftly quashed, that the star, Ncuti Gatwa, is eyeing an exit. Well, yeah, why wouldn't you sink the ship and then jump off it? You know? Why wouldn't you? Who is this? Is this the black guy? Yeah, look at this guy. Who doesn't want to watch Doctor Who with this guy as the star? I mean, again, why can't you just make anything new? And they're saying, well, why it fell short, but it wasn't for being woke. Are you sure? Perhaps this is because the ratings we're talking about. Perhaps the show has been running for so damn long, 20 years since it's rebooted. Russell T Davies and BBC Wales. Perhaps it's effect of all the unjustified negative headlines about the show's increasingly diverse cast and storylines. Perhaps it's the fact that Doctor Who seems increasingly key on preaching to its audience more than preaching to its audience and telling its stories. Yeah, that would probably be the case. Either way, people just aren't tuning in to the numbers they used to. The season's 5th episode, Lucky Day, achieved an overnight audience of 1.5 million, the lowest of the run. Even considering that, the current series high of 3.5 million for its premiere, The Robot Revolution, is a long way from Who's glory days. Towards the start of the show's run back in 2005, it regularly hit an average viewership of 8 million. In 2009, Dave Tennant's 3-episode run hit 10 million. So it's lost 90% of its audience. Gee, I wonder why. And no, it isn't just because the main actor is black. It's because he's black, and they're using, they're more concerned with pushing a woke narrative, feminism and all this kind of stuff, than putting out a good show. Now, I have never been a big Doctor Who guy. I liked the Pierce Brosnan, James Bond movies. I was too young to see any of the earlier James Bonds. And by the time Daniel Craig took over, I had already moved on past Bond. But we've seen this all before. They're going to float this guy. I mean, like this, in a review by DeSerto. So now let's go back to James Bond. In a review written by DeSerto, Pierce's performance was described as a Star is Born moment. Hulking, intimidating, but coolly charismatic. The Guardian praises it as a real movie star arrival. I wonder if he's gay in real life. I just have a feeling. Let me look. Aaron Pierre. Let's take a look. Let's just take a look. Whoops. Aaron Pierre. Husband. Whoa. Wait. As a female fans are considered, no, he's not married to a woman. Let's see. Oh, that's a better picture of him. That's a better picture of him. He looks more masculine in that picture. This is a better picture. So they just picked a really horrible picture of him. Gadzooks, okay, maybe he does like the women. So it's interesting. He's got the Hassan Piker socialist glasses. He's got like the, metrosexual guy look. He grew up in London, and hey, I just saw London is very different these days. So maybe a black man or a Pakistani as the next James Bond is what makes the most sense for them. But the internet is having a field day with this, and I'm not surprised. Maybe this guy's a good actor. He doesn't get me excited to play James Bond. That's the question that Hollywood never asks themselves. Would I go see a James Bond with Henry Cavill? Yes, I would. Would I see it with... I don't know. Is there other actors out there that I would see a James Bond movie with them? Yes. Does this one? No. Does Idris Elba make me want to see James Bond? No. So if you're going to cast this no-name actor, be prepared for it to flop. That's the bigger issue here. If you want to go diverse, I guess you have to go Idris Elba, but he doesn't make me want to see James Bond, and I don't know how many other people he would. But I've had nothing against Idris Elba, but I think that they need to give a little more respect to the franchise and hire the right actor that's going to reactivate the fandom, rather than just getting diversity points. But that's just one man's opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.